Good afternoon, all. This is Amrita from Locus. A warm welcome to everyone, and thank you for taking the time out of your schedules to join us for this Locus webinar on One API Unified Programming Model for Multi Architecture Platform. At Locus, we specialize in cloud led digital transformation, offering cloud migration, DevOps, hybrid data management, purpose built data platforms, cybersecurity, HPC ops, AI ops, and more. Today, we are focusing on one API unified programming model for multi-architecture platform. I hope everyone is keeping safe and positive during these challenging times. Without much ado, let me just go over some of the webinar hygiene protocols. Let's keep ourselves on mute at all times for better audio clarity. You may please ping any questions you have on the chat box and we will take them up. To avoid the flow of the presenter, we will stick to taking all questions at the end of the presentation. With that, let me introduce Mr. Alok Pandey, our speaker for today. Alok is the lead consultant HPC with 2 decades and more of industry experience delivering various HPC projects. He has consulted and delivered over 200 plus nodes to purpose build scale clusters in India and overseas. With that, over to you, Alok.
Thank you, Amrita. Thank you very much for nice introduction. Hope I am audible.
Yes, you're very much. You're welcome, Alok.
Thank you. Thank you once again. Hello, good afternoon. Namaste, everybody. I am Alok Pandey, lead consultant at Locus Enterprise Solutions Limited, New Delhi. Thanks for joining us today. I know that this is the March. You must have a lot of work which to be completed before the financial year gets closed. So, and still you manage the time. So we appreciate your efforts, your commitment. So March 24, 2020, we have seen the first ever countrywide lockdown to break the COVID-19 chain. Pandemic and lockdown affected our life in one or other way. In the modern era where technology dominates, to stay relevant, we need to learn and innovate faster and faster. We need to be multi-skilled and invest a lot of time in learning various technology, implement them and produce results. Today, I'll take you through a tool where you can develop programming skills once and use our different architecture and platform so that you can meet the performance goal and time goal with less efforts. So without further ado, I am just going through one API, which is a single programming model to deliver cross architecture performance. I am going to talk today about how one API will save your time, money, and allowing you to focus on innovation, generating new ideas, concepts, and more, and do more research than learning different programming languages, tools, and techniques. You have been using Intel processors for many years now. Thanks for using Intel processors. Intel Xeon processors have delivered tremendous performance globally. Intel scalable processors have various models under bronze, silver, gold, and platinum categories, right? The third generation of Intel Xeon scalable processor family we are using right now. The Intel processor, which is available in your server room, in your workstation, desktop, laptop, as well as it is available on demand through all major cloud providers, which to be used for or which to be used or which is being used for web hosting through big data and analytics to high compute intensive workloads like high performance computing, AI, and machine learning workload. Many of you know over the past 15 years, Intel software has demonstrated its leadership and impact on your application performance. Intel is a huge contributor to open source such as GCC, Clang, and LLVM. Intel also supports latest OpenMP parallel programming models and have superior integration with IDE such as Eclipse. About 12 million developers worldwide are using Intel software. In this slide, I just wanted to show some example of workloads and applications. Many of these applications have benefited from the software contribution Intel has made and boosting the performance of these applications. From be it health and life sciences, manufacturing, financial services, media and entertainment, oil and gas, government and academia, whatever the industry you belong or user belongs, they have been benefited from the Intel's efforts. Intel has developed tools and libraries for developers to use more cores, threads, and wide vectors. Many of you already using Intel Parallel Studio. These tools have maximized application performance. You can see on the screen, these tools include optimized libraries, frameworks, compilers, profiling tools, toolkits, which are already included in Parallel Studio. Developers from ISVs, academic and scientific organizations like you belongs to are writing serial and parallel codes in C++, Fortran, Python and any other language. Many of you are using Intel software for better performance. Another group of users who are using Intel Shoot or Intel Parallel Studio or they started using Intel One API or maybe using Intel API or HPC admins who are analyzing the performance of the cluster, building the cluster, checking the cluster with benchmarking teams, performance engineering teams, optimizing which are optimizing codes and open source tools and doing benchmarking using MKL or doing admin activity like Intel Cluster Checker. So like that, we have been using Intel Parallel Studio for quite some time. To begin with one API, I would like to start by doing a comparative discussion with Intel Parallel Studio. Parallel Studio is to boost the performance of the application that run on Intel Xeon processor. That's what we have been experiencing for quite a few years. Now, if I say the simplest way or what I said that the single tool which will run on the architecture, cross architecture other than the Intel Xeon processor. So the next generation of Intel Parallel Studio is Intel One API. So all the toolkits, compilers, developer tools that we have seen in the previous slide or you have been using, those are available with Intel One API. So Parallel Studio has been around to increase the performance of application, workloads, running on x86 CPU, especially Intel Xeon or maybe some other processor you must be using Intel and you have experienced that providing the better performance than any other compiler should. Now, one API will be available to boost your application performance not only on CPU, but also on accelerators like GPUs, FPGAs, and other accelerators which are available today. So one API is compatible with most of them. We have seen the huge development in the technology. In our time, we see the technical architectural diversity. The modern computing environment is adopting more accelerators, writing and deploying code on for CPU, GPU, FPGA, which requires knowledge of different languages, libraries, and tools. In the age of heterogeneous computing, one of the biggest challenges is coding across various architecture, right? If you want to write a code for CPU, you have to use a different programming language, different libraries, different tools. When you want to write for GPU, another efforts from scratch. For FPGA, different efforts, complete time to be invested. So now we have seen that this is the biggest challenge when each hardware platform, if I want to optimize my code for the performance, better results, or whatever the objective is, when we do programming, especially in high performance computing era, then our objective is to reduce the time and get faster results. So whether this is engineering product or weather simulation, we need a fastest results. So that we want to explore all available platforms, including accelerators. So with this single skills, we can do that. Further, if you say there are few popular application workload types like scalar, we have seen scalar, which is suitable for CPU, right? Vector, which is for GPU, and matrix to multiply matrices, and then special architectures. These are the architectures we are aware of theoretically. So CPU, vectors, matrix, which run on CPU, GPU, FPGAs, and different kind of accelerators. So you need a separate tools again, and you cannot use your existing code. Your code reuse is very limited. So that's where your development is very complex, costly, I can say inefficient, and very time intensive. Developers need to do so. What developers need to reduce programming complexity, to minimize the barriers to adopt new innovation hardware technology, so that they can use a single architecture and do that. So with this, I am going to introduce one Intel One API. So Intel One API toolkit, which promises to change all that, right? Name itself speaks about it. One API means single module. So which is unified and simplified programming model for different architectures. By adopting Intel One API, developers can create workloads and applications for multiple architectures on platform of their choice, and without the need to develop and maintain a separate code base, tools and workflows, right? In simple way, if I say with one API, you will be able to program from a single code base with native high level language performance across architectures, that is a scalar, vector, matrix and spatial. Intel One API is comprises of two components. One is that is Open Industry Initiative and Intel One API Toolkit, right? So if you see this diagram, the previous one, so Intel One API, which is placed above the hardware layer, which means what it denotes, it denotes that you can directly communicate with the CPU, GPU, FPGA, whatever it is, and then it will communicate with the middleware and firmware. So that with a single mediator, your framework like deep learning, which will communicate using one API directly with the hardware. So as I said, there are two parts, right? One is the direct programming. One is the direct programming part. That is a language you have to code, and it is a set of libraries for API based programming to make the cross architecture development. That so lower block, that is hardware abstraction layer provided by hardware, so some codes which will directly communicate with them. Now I say this one API for direct programming, that so here what we have data parallel C++. In short, we say DP++. DP++ is an open standard based, that is based on evolution of ISO C++, and it incorporates Chronos SQL and community extensions. In the right block of their set of domain specific powerful libraries to accelerate compute intensive workloads, and I'll talk about shortly when the I think net is very slow here, so slides are little delay. So this is the SQL which is there, and the right block which is libraries and communicates. So when we talk about DP++, right? So DP++, which is open alternative to a single architecture proprietary language. It allows developers to reuse the code across multiple architecture and also perform custom tuning for the accelerators. Developers get flexibility to move away from vendor specific approaches, and with a single programming language and tools and methods, they can use multiple platform, multiple architectures, multiple hardwares. So it delivers the productivity benefits, which is you are familiar with ISO C++, and then Chronos SQL, and community extensions. So it compiles C++ code, it compiles SQL code and DPC++ source code. So what it generate? It generate optimized binary host code and accelerator code API extensions, which are driven by open and cooperative community development. The second part of one API is API based programming libraries with which is advanced analysis and debug tools. So you say threading, NLTXML, DPC library, math kernel libraries. So all those things are there. So before I move ahead, let me take you through the what we have discussed so far. Why to use Intel One API and how it is related with Intel Parallel Studio. So if we say what is the relationship between Intel Parallel Studio and Intel One API, so we can say you have to think on if you have paid your attention here. So whether Intel Parallel Studio software tool increases workload performance on Xeon, while Intel One API increases the workload performance of Xeon, future Intel GPUs, Intel FPGAs, and other accelerators. I'm not sure if whether it is true, but you have to see whether it is true or not. Then we discussed that whether Intel API is the next generation product of Intel Parallel Studio or new one. I believe we discussed this one. We discussed the upper one. Then we discussed that Intel One API having some developer tools, right? Whether those are same as Parallel Studio or whether these are optimized for Intel XPUs, and XPUs means CPU, GPUs, VPUs, or so which one is true, or all of the above are true. So if you remember, then we discussed that, right? Intel Parallel Studio software increases workload performance on Xeon, while Intel One API increases the workload performance of Xeon, CPU, GPU, FPGAs, and other accelerators. And this is the next generation of the Parallel Studio. So it includes all the components which were available in the Parallel Studio plus add-on features, add-on libraries, API programming. Then we discussed that had same developer tools, Intel Parallel Studio, but Intel OPI tools are optimized for Intel XPUs, which are CPU, GPU, and all things. So all of them are true. So these points we discussed so far. Then what problem does one API aim to solve? Discuss here, right? So here the options are reduces complex programming so that organizations can select the best GPU to use for a specific workload. Okay. Did we discuss this, that this will reduce the programming so that you can use GPU for your workload? Then we said organization can reduce operational cost by using a single code base for CPU, GPU, FPGA, and other accelerators. Did we discuss this? Or by using multiple accelerators, users have more choices in the market, thus driving cost down. So we discussed about reducing the cost efforts. How? By creating a single code base which can be utilized on any platform, CPU, GPU, FPGA, and other accelerators. So this one seems to be true and what we have discussed. Coming to the section 2 now, and here we will discuss about Intel One API products. So this is only we are giving an overview of the Intel One API, where it is useful, how, why should you use it. So if you see this diagram, right, you can see Intel reference implementation of One API. Basically, it is a set of toolkits for the software developers that do direct programming. So DP++ will be the evolution of modern C++ programming that will target any architecture, be it CPU, GPU, FPGA. That's what we are saying. That's what people are using. That's where you can get a benefit. So prior to this, right? So if you are not using Intel 1 API, let's say we are not using Intel 1 API, we are not using DPC++, forget about this one. So what you need, you for each and every architecture, the OEM provides its own programming language. For example, GPU, that is another common accelerator in the market. So NVIDIA GPU. To use NVIDIA GPU, you need to learn CUDA, CUDA C, CUDA C++, write your own code from scratch and then use it. And that code cannot be used on any other GPU or FPGA. Right now, if you are using AMD compiler, so AMD is saying we have another compiler which is best designed for my processor. Then Intel, you know already, and using C++, Fortran for a long time. So Intel provides C++ and Fortran and other compilers and libraries which are optimized for Xeon and the instruction sets of the processor. So if we talk about that Intel 1 API now, which we are discussing today. So Intel 1 API is available where you can write the code and use that code on any architecture. You need not to learn again NVIDIA, CUDA or OpenCL from scratch. So how will you do that? We'll discuss in further slides. So before that, we are seeing what is there in the Intel 1 API. So Intel 1 API is a little different architecture than Parallel Studio. Parallel Studio was there for complete components. Maybe some components were not available for a specific use. So here, the Intel Parallel Studio was having bunch of tools. So we have segregated tools so that you can only download, install what you need rather than the entire suite. So here Intel 1 API products, you can use individual components such as compilers, libraries in the form of toolkits, and we usually say one API core toolkit or one API base toolkit, and which having all the programming things which you would need to run it in your system. Then if you want to run on a high performance cluster, right, HPC cluster, where you want to take a benefit of so here you can run on CPU, GPU, whatever on single system. But if you want to run on multiple nodes, you need to establish the communication among them. So in that case, we have Intel 1 API, HPC toolkits, and other toolkits I will discuss later. So all these toolkits which are provided with ready to use, that is provided in container format as well as installer format. So you can do manual installation, configuration and setup for your installer format. And if you want to use only containers, you can directly pull the containers and use in the container format. So in the base toolkit, in the base toolkit, Intel is providing you lot of tools. If you see on the screen, there is a direct programming. So direct programming tools, API based programming tools, as well as analysis tools, that is Intel vTune Profiler and Intel Advisor, which has been very popular. So these tools all are available, which are required for a basic programming, which are available with the base toolkit. Now, when you want to move a step ahead, then we have Intel 1 API DPC++ compiler. So in this base toolkit, you will get 1 API DPC++ compilers, which is based on C++ compiler, and had SYCL, which is again open and in standard. And then what Intel has done, Intel has addressed the gaps which were having in the open industry things. So open version of SYCL. So those gaps is set fill and optimize those libraries and helping you with the software as well as how to use the software in your premise or in the cloud. We will discuss further how you can use freely for some time or for a set of time so that you can have hands-on without any upfront investment. So this is that way Intel One API DPC++ compiler. Then Intel provides DPC++ compatibility tool. So which compatibility tool is used to migrate your existing CUDA code to DPC++. Now, so we are talking about you can write a code from scratch, right? Now, if you already have a CUDA code, now you just would need that. If again I need to go back and learn DPC++ from scratch, write a 5,000 line code or 10,000 line code to DPC++, then we have to put a lot of efforts. So here this one Intel DPC++ compatibility tool, it helps you to migrate your code to DPC++. So that now when you migrated your existing CUDA code to DPC++, then you are not tied to a single GPU OEM. So they say my GPU is discontinued, you have to buy a new GPU to get the support or to performance. So then you are free. Now you can run the same code on the GPU or any other platform. So what it does, so it, as we said, with this tool, 80 to 90% of code is migrated automatically. So when you run this DPC++ compatibility tool, this tool will migrate the code from normal language to normal CUDA language to DPC++. Then the compilation of and verification of this code is a manual process which you have to do. This is not going something you have click a single button and everything is done. So still there are certain pieces which you have to manually tune. So I would say that this is not a translator. So this is a code migration. So where you need to convert, put some efforts, but this is not whole efforts. You are going and writing the code from scratch and complete rewriting is required. So 80 to 90% code will be migrated automatically to the DPC++. However, only 10 to 20% efforts you have to put to fine tune it. So fine tune it means to migrate, to review the code, fill the some gaps, then fine tune it and optimize the output of the tool before using the DPC+ compiler and compile it. So, but very limited effort. So writing the is from scratch to convert to the DPC++ load, it's with least efforts. Then we have Intel One API for FPGAs. So FPGA supports direct programming language with limited library support, right? So Intel DPC++ is expected to be on par with OpenCL performance on FPGA. So when you want to use FPGA, you need to write the OpenCL code. So DPC++ code is providing the equivalent performance than OpenCL is providing. So with the same language, so that's what we say with unified development environment, a single programming language, that is DPC++, you can write code or you can convert your GPU code to DPC++ code and run to any platform. Then we have then we have Intel DPC++ libraries, and then we have I think one slide is missing here. So One API DNN library which helps developers who are creating a deep neural network. So right now people are saying when we have to use this deep neural network work, we need the GPUs most of the time, and CPU is not performing that much. So here what Intel did, Intel provided One API DNN library, which is highly tuned and having set of API primitives that speeds the neural network execution. It is open source and is available on Linux and Windows both. The library can be used on CPU or GPU, and it is optimized with Intel DL Boost. So Intel DL Boost instruction set which will maximize the performance on the Xeon processors also. Then we have VTune Profiler. VTune Profiler you must have used earlier in with Parallel Studio. The same way you can use. So with the if you are new, you have never used. So let me tell you that you when you want to do some analysis, right? You want to improve the performance, software performance. You need certain data, right? Where we have to do tuning, what parameters to be changed. So that kind of data VTune Profiler provides. So VTune Profiler collects key profiling data, presents in the powerful interface like this. So then you can identify what gaps to be filled, whether benchmarking team would need or HPC would, admins, what the deep HPC admins they are using these tools to fine tune the HPC cluster as well as to fine tune the application performance, so that they can do performances, they can create a performance snapshot, they can do the roofline analysis, they can do the storage performance snapshots, and do the MPA communication analytics. So with this the optimization of the setup as well as the optimization of the application happens. So that's where Intel continues to provide it even with the Waze toolkit. Then we have Intel Advisor. Intel Advisor, which is designed and optimized for high performance code for modern computing architecture. So it helps to efficiently offload code to accelerator. Right, developers will be able to determine if their code would benefit from offload to accelerator or not. Developers can also identify opportunities to upload and project performance on the accelerator so that it will work. It is benefit to use accelerator or not. Other we need to rewrite the code or existing code. How much percentage benefit will able to achieve. So with this tool, further you can do estimate overheads from data transfer, kernel launch cost, and you can pinpoint the performance bottleneck in the whether this is the memory, cache, compute, and data transfer. So multiple points are there where the performance goes down. So you can identify and advises you uh, what can be done. Now we have talked about this one, so further we'll talk about this some domain specific. So in the interest of time, I'm a little faster here. So if we talk about domain specific toolkits for specialized workloads, so earlier I have explained some basic points, right? Why you should Intel one API, what are the base product toolkits, what is DPC++ compiler, why DPC++ compatibility tool, because if we have already some CUDA ports, and that to be converted with minimal efforts. Then we discuss about DPC++ library, one API for FPGA if you have that. Then DNN libraries, VTune Profiler. We discuss about Advisor. Now I'm going to discuss some add-on domains and workloads, which are which having a specific toolkits and maybe useful to you for some of your workload. So one of the toolkit is, and very popular toolkit is one API HPC toolkit, right? So when you talk about HPC toolkit, right, it is having C++, MPIs, then analysis toolkit, inspector, trace analyzer connector, cluster checker, and few other tools. So all the dark toolkits that are available with the base toolkit, and the upper one which are highlighted, those are particularly designed for the Intel One API toolkit for HPC. So this toolkit is appropriate for both. We are using, right, distributed memory when multiple servers we are communicating over MPI, or a single server with multiple processors, huge memory, having huge memory, and we say shared memory architecture. So this is available for both, and so having, as I said, OpenMP and MPI communication, right? Shared memory, OpenMP, and distributed MPI communication. So it is having all the required libraries. and it also contains inspector, MPI analyzer, cluster tuning, cluster health checker. So all these white one, those are the add-ons than the base toolkit, which is the lower dark one. Then we have Intel C++, C++ and Fortran compilers. So this is the, you can say, if we talk about Intel software, the first thing we say that is C, C++ and MPI. That's how Intel software is very popular among the developers and application users. So if I say Intel compilers, then we will say that is they are very mature, hardened, enterprise grade. So and being used for quite long time in industry. So what Intel compilers, as other compilers do, such Intel compilers compile source code, but what Intel do, they do extremely fast. So we don't have benchmarks right at this moment, so which can show how open source compilation and Intel compilations are, how Intel compilation is faster than open source compilation. So what we have experienced in many years, that if we have a cluster, right, maybe as 4 node or maybe 40 node or maybe 400 nodes, HPC cluster is there for simulation run or job run. If there are users, right, multiple users, then two user network license, that is floating license we say in Intel. So two user floating license can provide compilation support over 25 users. You need not to invest for all the users on for their workstations. So a single head node or login node, it can be installed for compilation, and then Intel MPI can run a number of can support a number of jobs. So these are supporting OpenMP and all those things. So as I said earlier, it is LLVM client. So it is Intel compilers which are based on LLVM and having proprietary extensions above it, right? And Intel C++ compiler, Fortran compilers, OpenMP supports provide offload features to accelerate with latest OpenMP specs, and also supports the latest instruction set, that is AVX 512. So this is for the developers, but if you, what about if you are in IoT domain? Now Intel also provides IoT toolkit. So here also provides some all the required tools like kernel build tools, IDEs, C++ compiler, IoT communication tools, inspector, debugger. So all the required tools which may be used in IoT development. So that's how Intel has tailored this toolkit and offering you. Um, so you can have a you can develop the IoT edge devices for any domain, be it healthcare devices, for smart homes, right? In industrial devices or retail devices, aerospace sensor, REST sensor, security devices. So whatever IoT devices you want to, you can use that these tools and write codes for them to use. And like ID, kernel compilation, kernel build, communication, everything is there. And then it provides rendering toolkit. Intel One API rendering toolkit, so which is very much required for the uh, media, right? So when we talk about rendering, first things come to media and entertainment industry, where the lot of visualization is required, format conversion. So from one format to another format conversion in the fly. So when we talk about HPC, right, HPC visualization, right, so visualization in HPC we do on pre-processing, and post-processing then goes to simulation and on multi-cores. So either for this pre-processing we can use simple one, but rendering toolkit will be very efficient for the uh, media entertainment, where the people are using softwares like ParaView, VTK, Visit, VMD, Autodesk, Pixlr, DreamWorks, like that. So those software are developed, are using in backend some of the tools which are Intel has developed, right? So they are using those toolkits to optimize their application and providing support to you. Then we have OpenMPI Deep Learning Framework Developer Toolkit. So this toolkit is designed. This toolkit is designed for developers who are optimizing existing DL framework. Suppose you have already your DL framework from some providers, or you have created your own, or uh, or you want to create a new one. In either case, so you can use this developer toolkit, and again it is optimized for CPU and GPU, be it a single node or multi-node distributed processing. So it supports all, and it allows the scaling, right? So it is having one API, collective communication library, and deep neural network library. So that all these, with these two tools, you can create a framework which which is compatible with one or multiple nodes, right? Then we have once we have developer and we want to do some analytics. So for those analytics, we have separate toolkit that is known as AI Analytics Toolkit. Again, this is used by developers, researchers, data scientists who are familiar with Python tools basically. So if you see here, the direct programming, this is Intel distribution for Python. Again, this is faster than open source distribution of Python. So whether you what we do in deep learning, right? We are doing training, then integrating the train model to application for inferencing, or executing functions of data analytics and machine learning workloads. So where if we are using this AI analytics, so the best use case is to deliver high performance DL training on CPUs. That's it. That is the best use case, right? So if you want to optimize the your CPU utilization, you simply can use this toolkit and do it, right? And you can do the faster inferencing, faster training with Intel optimized frameworks like TensorFlow from Intel, or PyTorch from Intel. So with those tools, you can boost up the performance and need not to migrate to the GPU or any other accelerator. So then if we are going through these toolkits and all, then what what is the ecosystem, what is the adoption of these toolkits, and how the support works here? So just like this webinar, right, we are helping you to understand the concepts and the tool, right? What is the functionality what to use. So Intel is also investing and supporting a range of program. Multiple programs are there, so that you can be familiar with TPC++ language and one API libraries. So we providing the Dev Cloud. I'll take you what is Dev Cloud further in this next PPT. So Dev Cloud, with Dev Cloud based training forums, with open source community. So all those things there are there. And when you are taking a license for that, then Intel is providing a support, just like it has been providing for the Intel Parallel Studio. So those kind of support is there, open source support is there, third party supports are there. So with all those things, so based on your choice, you can take the support. If you not, then still there are many programs you can get acquainted with the technology which Intel offers. So I said that Intel Dev Cloud, right? What is Intel Dev Cloud? Is it like AWS or Azure, or what it is, or IBM, Alibaba? So Intel Dev Cloud, again, like others, it provides platform to you, right? Where you can use Intel CPU, Intel GPU without any cost initially for free for 120 days. Then where you will get the hardware to test your code, to migrate your code without any investment, right? And above of that, you need not to do the licensing from, or you need not to deploy software from marketplace, and or you need not to acquire any hardware in your on premise, or you need not to set up and configure the middlewares like libraries or job scheduler, or CUDA toolkit kind of environment. You need not to build anything. Intel Dev Cloud you get, and you get a login, and you can simply upload your code and run it. So you can you can access the Intel Dev Cloud from here. So you can you will have, once you get a login approved, you will get the Intel One API toolkit. You can learn DPC++ programming, or you can convert your code and test their hardware. If you are on workstation, or then you can test there, or you can download and again run in your environment. You can build your application for heterogeneous environment, test it there. So FPGA is there on Dev Cloud, CPU is there, GPU is there, and you can test the performance. You can evaluate the workloads, whether on which platform it will run better. So you what how you do, you just need to open this URL. You have to sign it up and it will get approved, and a lot of material will be there, will be available for you to start with that. So you need not to worry that where we learn, we are going to learn this programming and how the tools are done, and Locus will also support you when you are doing so. So Intel Dev Cloud, lot of hardware is available. Few for your reference I have mentioned, like scalable Intel Xeon scalable 6128 processor, 8256 processor, I series processors also there. Then you have a graphics technology like GPU, it's there, right? And then you have FPGA, ARIA, Intel ARIA, Intel ARIA and statics GPUs are available, and everything is available without any cost initially, so that you can test your code. You can write, you can migrate code, or you can write a new code, learn the programming models. But there are certain limits, like, well, first one is that it is available for 120 days. So 120 days, we thought that we found that this is quite tough time if one is serious to do that, to start working with that. And then you will get terminal access. So from internet you can access from anywhere, from your Linux or your Windows system, and you will get certain RAM limitation up to 192 GB RAM. So if you go to that website, Dev Cloud, you will see what kind of resources are available. So very simple, you can access the environment through either your notebook, Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter, or your remote desktop kind of environment you can use. You can use terminal access, you can integrate with your tool and ID access. So you will land up to login node, and in that login node you will get everything in your login ready to use immediately, right? What you need just your code to run there, compile and test there. So job scheduler is already installed there. Simply go schedule your job. It will get dispatched to any of the available nodes for CPU, for GPU, for FPGA, and you are done. So that's how Intel is investing and supporting you, and Locus is anyway there to help you to create your account, to get it approved, and to help run your first code. So if you use Jupyter Node, a lot of examples are available there. So if you are doing SSH, you will able to see this kind of environment. Login node is based on Ubuntu, so you need not to worry on that. You must be very familiar with Linux environment. Then this, if you say this is free for 120 days, and why to use Intel One API, reduced your operating cost, reduce your learning time, complete life cycle from learning to deployment. It is reducing, it is boosting the performance. You can create a better quality applications which can run on any platform. You are not locked with any special platform, and you are tied with that. And if you wish to migrate, then you can migrate to anyone rather than stay locked with one hardware provider. So that's how so with this unified languages and libraries, you can write the codes, you can build applications which will run on multiple architecture, which will provide the performance, increase your productivity, save your time, reduce your cost, to complete benefit for you. And initially the web that free without any upfront investment, no certificate required from you, no hardware supply to your device, no POC box, no POC box, box to be delivered, no dabba in your premise, so consume your power cooling. You need not to worry for that. You need to just log in. You just like you are participating in the webinar, you can get access on internet and do that. So with this I am done. Let me do a recap. So if I say that what is one API, how one API is different than CUDA. So CUDA is free and one API is not. CUDA is a proprietary single vendor, single architecture language for NVIDIA GPU, while one API is open specification model that supports multi-architecture GPU, multi-architecture programming for CPU, GPU. With one API, CUDA can be run directly on Intel hardware, or CUDA customers have the options to purchase customer support, while on API customers do not have this option. So you understood rightly today that CUDA is a proprietary single vendor, single architecture language for programming from NVIDIA, and for NVIDIA GPUs, where Intel One API you can run on any platform. That's what to say cross architecture programming, which can run CPU, GPU, FPGA, or any other accelerator. Did I stop my sharing? So this way, this is the way you can go ahead and use the CUDA. Then if I say which of the following tools are included in the Intel One API HPC toolkit. So if I say the Intel C++ compiler with the 1 MP and Intel Photon compiler with 1 MP with OpenMP, so whether this is included in HPC toolkit, yes, we studied. Whether Intel MPI library is included in one API HPC toolkit, we discussed. Whether Intel Inspector, Trace Analyzer, Collector, and ICC is available in HPC toolkit, yes, we discussed. Whether VTune Profiler, Advisor, and GDP is available with HPC toolkit, so we discussed, right? So one tool, the lowest one is available with all base toolkit, and the upper three is available with one API HPC toolkit. Then we discussed, right, which of the following is statement true for Intel DPC++ compatibility tool. We discussed, right, precisely on DPC++ compatibility tool, that whether it is a tool that will assist developers in migrating some portion of their existing code written in CUDA to the newly developed DPC++ language. On average, about 80 to 90% of CUDA code in application can be migrated by this tool. It requires user developer to review, complete, test, fine-tune, and optimize the output of the tool before it is ready to be to be input to the DPC++, or it is a translator tool that automatically translates CUDA code to DPC++. We discussed all the points, and of course this is not a translator toolkit and provides all the other functionality. So with this I am in time. We have certain reference benchmarks which provides Intel distribution Python, like Intel distribution Python scale and optimization. So we discussed that how this is better than open source compilation, open source Python. Then model U for Intel architecture. This is again another benchmark which says that how the performance was achieved on models, right? And how the latency and throughput was tested and proved on Intel architecture. and it's at par with that GPU. You need not to do a huge investment. So with this, thank you very much for your time. Now I am open for the questions. If you have any, we can discuss that now.
Thank you, Alok. All the participants may unmute themselves and ask question. And we would encourage all to use this forum to ask any queries if you may have on the topic. Thank you. We will go ahead and take some time for questions now. Just a reminder, please be sure to type your questions into the chat box in your control panel. You may unmute and ask questions. You will receive a survey on the presentation, and we would appreciate if you would provide your valuable feedback, and we'll send you an Amazon gift voucher through email as a token of appreciation for your time spent on this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amrita, and thank you all for your participations. If
You're
you need
welcome.
any, if you need any
Yes,
deep dive
yes,
session,
sorry.
you can approach Amrita or your account manager from Locus. We will deliver a session to your organization, uh, which will have a hands-on creating a dev cloud account and helping you to run your first code or migrate your existing code to DPC++. Thank you once again
It looks
for
like we
your time.
have few questions, Alokji.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, Amrita.
Yes. So the first question is there a trial or free version on One API available for education and research?
Yes, Intel Dev Cloud you can start using for 120 days, and further if you need further access, Locus will help you to have a longer duration access.
All right. Thank you for that. And how to get support during using of Dev Cloud?
So as I said that there is a community support, then the Locus is there to help you if you are facing any challenge in compilation or in code migration or running the DPC++ compatibility tool or any other. So Locus is there, Intel community support is there, and we will ensure that your code is getting run using Intel One API toolkit. And if you are migrating, then we'll help you to migrate from NVIDIA CUDA, and even Locus and Intel both will support you.
And it looks like there's one last question, and that would be how to get one API compiler to test the existing codes.
So you can run it on Intel One API Dev Cloud, or you can download a trial version from that Intel website, or if you need, we can help you with that software as well.
Okay, thank you again, Malukji, for answering those questions and for the great presentation. It looks like we have covered all of our questions today. Alok, is there anything else you wanted to cover before a wrap up?
So I would only recommend that to use the Dev Cloud, which is having software as well as the hardware available for free. So on the Dev Cloud, your sample codes or your test codes can run. You can start programming there, or you can start migrating your sample codes or your production code as well on your cloud. You will get an account just like you get access to your HPC cluster. You will get account for HPC cluster user there. Same way you will get that access to the Intel environment, which includes software as well as hardware, Intel CPU, GPU, and FPGAs.
Uh, Great. With this, we come to the end of this webinar. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you being here. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Thank you.